Now that it's Warriors and Celtics, break down the matchup for me. What are the the advantages, disadvantages of this series, best you can tell?
Well, I wonder, Rich, if we look back in a couple weeks and think about what could have been if the Celtics closed out Miami in 6, because they're banged up. I mean, Robert Williams is just dragging that leg up and down the floor. To his credit, I mean, the guy came back from significant knee surgery in like a month. I mean, that's not nothing. I give him a lot of credit for doing what he's doing out there. Marcus Smart, alluded to this after Game 7, where like the entire left side of his body is aching, whether it's his foot, his ankle, his quad that cost him a game early in the playoffs. I mean, he's in tough shape. And, I know internally, they wish they had those 2 extra days in between the conference finals ending and these finals beginning, because they could have used Saturday, Sundays to rest and not fly back to Boston late at night and fly to San Francisco today. So the health is paramount, I think, in the series. But, look, if all things are equal, the Celtics match up incredibly well with Golden State. You go back to that game in March, and it's only one game, but that was when the Celtics were peaking. The defense was clicking. Tatum and Brown were playing well. They just destroyed Golden State out in San Francisco. I mean, they beat them up. And, the Warriors, their offense, it tries to create mismatches with all this movement and all these screens. There are no mismatches with the Celtics. The 8 guys they play can all defend on some level, 1 through 5. It's remarkable. Teams, I've talked to many assistant coaches about this, that, the Celtics are aspirational. You want your team to be built defensively the way the Celtics are. So Boston's going to give Golden State a lot of problems. I think Golden State defense is better than people think, and they'll, whether it's Wiggins or Green, they're going to give the Celtics perimeter player problems. The other variable in all this that can't be kind of accounted for right away is the fact that nobody on this Celtics roster has been to a finals, and seems like everybody on that Warriors roster has been to at least one. The key guys being, 3 or 4. And we saw 10 years ago with Oklahoma City that matters. Remember, the Thunder went into the finals. They might have been the better team with Durant, Westbrook, Harden, Ibaka, but they were steamrolled in part because they weren't quite ready for that moment. And I'm curious to see early on if the Celtics are ready for that moment, because these games 1 and 2, they're going to be hugely important in terms of setting the tone for the rest of the series.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.